Hey guys, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m. We're about to get started for the day at Phil's. Okay, let's go, folks. Thingamabobber.
Morning, Bialy.
Oh, you made it.
Well, good.
How's your dodgeball game?
Killed him.
Excellent. How much sleep did you get?
Sleep. Okay, we've done more than we agreed to do. We're not doing any more unless we're getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Which is important because I haven't done that historically.
Yeah.
So, 11 years in business, you'd think I'd have that one down, but better late than never. So.
You and me both.
Yeah.
It's a challenge with service-oriented people. It's like we just trust, like, if we do the service, like, fair exchange will come along.
Yeah, and it's
there's
totally,
a whole section, like, that's my lesson lately, is it's like, it's not enough just to negotiate fairly. You have to negotiate fairly and then hold people accountable.
Correct, yeah. You should put that down as one of your things, Forsky.
What?
It's not enough just to negotiate fair exchange. You have to negotiate fairly and then hold people accountable. That's a really good statement. Warren, there's meetings we have when everybody brings stuff for discussion, and there's meetings that we have when everybody's here just to eat breakfast together and do work and then get at it.
I found it really interesting to hear when we were talking with Jen yesterday, to say the sharp difference between stand-up when we're there and when we're not.
Oh, I've known that for weeks.
I've heard through Jen, because I usually talk to her around stand-up time every Thursday, like some of the rocks brought up, which are atypical to what we actually see, but it hasn't been clear to me that it's treated like a joke half the time. I'm not impressed with that.
Are you taking it personally?
Right now.
What do you make that mean?
What's that?
What do you make it mean when they treat it like a joke? What does that mean? What are you making it mean? They treat stand-up like a joke, so they don't care about the company. They treat stand-up like a joke, so what?
Like they're treating it as something to appease us instead of as a tool to help them be prepared for the day.
Which means
They don't actually care about being prepared for the day.
Which means they don't give a fuck about the company. Yeah.
Well, that's just a drawback of having people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Is that
If we
the
could do
people?
anything automated, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true. There was this one point yesterday where I was like prepping some dinner and like talking to Colin and stuff, and Hudson had like crawled up and was like holding onto the stove like handle, and then he like grabbed my pants and he's standing there like looking at me, doing this thing, and then he went back to grab the stove handle, and so he got his right hand on the stove handle and then kind of like slipped like inward like this. He went through the normal falling motion, except his hand was like too tightly gripped onto the handle, and so he like comes to a sudden jerk like with his head like 6 inches from the floor, and I could see the look on his face being like,
What's happening?
like I haven't fallen yet, and like trying to stand up but can't. And then eventually like literally a few seconds later of him being like totally confused and then finally being like letting go and just finally falling the last 6 inches. Generally I would say that things are really looking up right now. I haven't put Bay West into the MMR numbers yet for increases, but that definitely helps. Good job.
Which client? The US?
Yeah, Bay West moved to a $2,000 strategic advisory. So they're technically our first formal strategic consulting client. All I'm doing is helping them find solutions to problems.
They're another client within the home building industry that we have an opportunity to see how they operate. And I'm certain that the cross knowledge that we'll be able to gain will have great effect for phase 1 in Astoria. And
I'm excited to take them Jarvis.
yeah,
Tremendously excited for that.
yeah.
Like, we're well versed in deploying that software now. Like, our meeting at Hearth and Home is fucking boss.
I have to say, Jamie and Jen have done a fantastic job of putting together a curriculum for that. They just totally jumped all over it. And then like suddenly there was like cool
Like
shit.
a whole course.
Yeah.
Fort, gonna build on whatever it started with.
Sure. I mean, really, that we're doing everything I want to be doing. The company is on the track I want it to be on. It's growing at the pace that it's able to grow at. The team is doing what the team is able to do. Like, we're all working hard. We all want more than just whatever it is in our own personal lives that's going on. Like, we're all doing what Measurable Genius is designed to do, which is use it as a tool to fucking grow as human beings. I'm reading this book called The Fifth Discipline, or something like that. The art of the learning organization. And basically, it just gave me a framework to think about. It's like systems thinking.
Okay.
And they talk about how the English language is linear language, like how it's structured. It's a linear language, but systems are all circles. And so it's really difficult to communicate systems in English because you're taking a line and you're trying to curve it into a circle, so then the language becomes circular, and then people get all fucking confused and stuff. Like, for example, they use like filling a glass of water. Most people in English will say, "I filled the glass of water." That's incorrect language. I engaged a balancing system called the rate of speed on the fucking faucet. And I used an input differential to determine the gap between the water level and the top of the glass to provoke an increased rate of speed, which leads to an increase of flow of water, which leads to an increase of water in the glass, which leads to a response that impacts the differential of water from the glass, which engages the balancing system of turning down the tap a little, and we go around that circle until the cup is full. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get that. Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. Now I understand like why everyone is like, why don't you just do this thing? It's so simple. And I'm like, no, it's not, because I'm a systems thinker. I just haven't had a model to like really differentiate why I'm thinking differently or how specifically I'm thinking differently. But someone says, hey, add this shit to ConnectWise. And they're like, it's a linear statement, add this thing to ConnectWise. And to me, I'm like, systemic impact. And it's just a concept basically of how when you're reacting within a single system, you don't have respect for the whole rest of the system. Everything overcompensates and you have these accelerating factors that throw the whole thing out.
Right.
And then it talks about how there's basically accelerating factors in a system and then there's balancing factors in a system. And it talks about how accelerating factors will always go until the balancing system takes over. And that's what people call a plateau. Basically it talks about how to draw a system as a diagram and to understand like you should be able to start at any point in the system and follow it all the way through in the diagram and it'll be circular. It'll always be circular. And there's always going to be a accelerating system and then a balancing system, and both of them are circular and they interact at one or many points on those circles. And they talk specifically, the lesson that I've taken away from the book so far is it's like most people occupy all of their effort in trying to accelerate the reinforcing system. Make the reinforcing system go faster, make it go faster, make it go faster, sell more, do more, process more tickets. When in reality, the greatest leverage is always in the balancing system. Right? The greatest point of leverage is always in the restricting balancing system. Undo the restriction and all of those other things free up. I don't fucking understand it really still. Like, it's hard to determine like what goes in a reinforcing system and what goes in the balancing system. Like what goes on this circle and what goes on this circle. Like there's nuances to it that I don't really get.
Really liking my new office.
I saw your YouTube. You're funny. It's like the Rene blog. It's like you never post anything on YouTube and you just posted this weird ass 40-second clip of like I'm downstairs in my office. Look at it.
And you know what? A ton of people have seen that. It's really funny. I don't think I got anything else to
Good.
add.
Growing.
Yep.
Let's go to work.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so today I talked about this book, The Fifth Discipline. It's by Peter Senge. Peter. His name's Peter. The Fifth Discipline. We'll include a link to this book in the description of the video. It will be an affiliate link. If you buy that book, I will make money, just so you know. It is a good book, though. I'm not done. I'm not done yet. I intend to finish the book, and I'm sure I'll learn some more shit, and I will definitely endeavor to share that with you guys. But if you are running a business and you are thinking in terms of action response systems, this book is going to definitely widen your mind and give you a perspective on how entangled and overlapping systems both cause a greater sense of expression in terms of those systems, and then there's also the balancing systems that keep those systems in check. And being able to see your business in terms of these systems is a game changer for me. This book definitely has given me a framework that I can apply to my own psychology that helps me think through and adapt and apply direct actions against what I want to do in my business to change the way our business performs and how we engage with our customers and how we engage with our employees and that type of stuff. So highly recommend it. If you read that book or you've read that book and you've got comments, please comment below this video. Let me know what you think. Like this video, share it with your friends, and or tag somebody you think could find value in this message. And so with that, I'd like to thank you for watching Daily Genius episode 36. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
Excellent.